right, so please have a seat in Swastikasana, and we'll start. So sit straight and tall, hands down on your thighs for a moment, and turn the upper arms out. Roll the corners of the shoulders back in order to broaden across the collarbones. Keep the two buttock bones descending. And along with that, allow the eyes to close from top to bottom. Soften the face, the jaw, the temples. And then bring the palms together at the center of the chest. Spread the palm into the palm. Take a moment to keep that gaze inward, connecting to that inner world. Feel the bridge of the nose dissolve back towards the brain as you find that seat within. And then join me for the sound of Om, and we'll continue with the invocation. Yogena Chittasya Padena Vacham Malam Sharirasya Chavai Jakena Yopa Karutam Pravaram Muninam Patanjalim Pranjaliranatosmi Avahu Purushakaram Shankat Chakrasidarinam Sahasara Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim Harihi Om. Release the head down towards the heart center, towards that seat within, and surrender there completely. Then release the hands with the palms up. Bring the head up with closed eyes. And gently open the eyes. So we're going to begin this afternoon with downward dog. So go on and clear your mat. And when you come to hands and knees, take a moment and see that, assuming the shoulders are all fine, that you point your middle finger forward. Turn the upper arm out, but then press the inner hand well into the floor. Keep the hand pressing evenly there as you take Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward dog. Elongate through the outer armpits, through the side ribs, sideways, all the way up and back to the outer groin, and descend the heel bones down. And as you press the inner hand, then go on and begin to spread now the pressure from the mound of the big toe to the small toe. Feel how that can keep the kneecaps lifted, but also help roll the inner groins back. So outer groins back, inner groins back. And of course, breathe in and out through the nose. And then walk the hands back to the feet for soft Uttanasana. So find as you hold the elbows that you reaffirm that lift of your knees, taking the frontal thighs up and almost like you're tucking the frontal groins in deeper. Continue the spreading across the mounds of the foot. Descend the side body. Descend even the biceps downward. Even as the upper body surrenders there, keep the lower body firm. Change the crossing of the arms and surrender the biceps downward. Neck soft. And then walk the hands forward again into downward dog. And then once again, walk your hands back to the feet and inhale to come on up. Now, you can keep your mats where they are. We'll come back there. But I want to be able to go to a wall for a few moments. We're going to take handstand a couple of times. Now, if handstand is just challenging, then you go ahead and you practice and you try and kick up. If you want to walk your feet up the wall, you know, in this sort of situation, you can do that. Nothing wrong with that. But you'll just follow the arms that I instruct. So initially, when you go to the wall for handstand, I want you to turn your hands out. So the middle finger should almost be pointing straight out towards the sides, heel of the hand under your shoulders. So let's do that one first. Of course, when we come down, you stay down and you hold your elbows in a soft Uttanasana. So don't just spring back up to standing. Most of you know that. So with the fingers about 4 or 5 inches from the wall, turn the hands out, right? Turn the upper arm bone out, and again, press the inner hand down well, in that order. Then you walk in with your feet, come way up onto the tiptoes to lift the outer groins higher up and more over the hips. One leg lifts, keep it straight. The bottom leg bends, but that top leg stays straight and secure. Exhale, kick, kick, and then extend both heel bones up. Extend the heels up so the buttock rolls to the heels and spread across the mound of the foot to firm the outer gluteals, to take the tailbone in. Lengthen through the outer armpits further and more. Then to come down, either one leg at a time, or you can take both legs down if you're comfortable doing that. Feet hips distance apart, hold the elbows. Soft Uttanasana, release the neck. Roll the biceps downward. Keep the mounds of the foot spreading. Now, Again, walk the hands forward, turn them out again. Once you do that, bring some weight into your hands, feet together. Turn the upper arm bones out. So to bend the elbows a little and turn the upper arms, that can kind of help. Then bear weight on your inner hands and come up onto the mounds of the foot. Walk in as much as you can. If you can kick up with the second leg, try it, right? If the first leg's easy, try the second so it stays straight. Bend the bottom leg, and with an exhale, your top thigh goes towards the wall. So exhale, kick, kick. And heels push up the wall, buttock pushes to the heels. Keep that lift and spread the mounds of the foot. You can even then feel your heels broaden against the wall to help you take the tailbone in. Then lengthen up all the way out of the sides of the body. Release and come down. Hold the elbows. Soft Uttanasana. And then inhale and come on up. One thing I failed to mention before we did that, many of you that are in class live with me know, if you're not doing inversions today, do Supta Virasana. You can do that over bolsters or blankets. Now, we're going to do handstand again, just one more round. A round means 2 times. And I'm going to ask you to point your hands forward. So middle finger points towards the wall. Same thing. We'll turn the upper arm out and we'll bear weight on the inner hand. So before we do that, it can be helpful. It kind of depends on the stage you're in with your handstand, but it can really be helpful when you're learning time and handstand, that sort of thing, to use. Wendy, that bolster needs to be more up your back. It shouldn't be so low. It's going to be helpful to use a strap. So get a strap and put it around your arms just above the elbows. If you at all find that bearing that weight in your arms is difficult, or even if you find that kicking up is challenging, because it can make the arms more stable, allowing the rest of the body to be more confident in that kick, okay? Now, I will reveal to you this whole class is not inversions. We're just starting with handstand. Why? Well, because it's sort of like starting standing poses with jumpings. Handstand can be a really great way to sort of shake the body up, to reinvigorate the body, change your perspective, all those sorts of things, right? So you want to get that strap, as you know, a shoulder's distance width. So just check that and make sure it's correct for you, right? So that the outer arm is hugged in properly, but so that the inner upper arm presses out as well, okay? So then once you have that, fingers facing the wall, point that middle finger forward, bear weight on your hands a little and turn the upper arm bone out, way up at the shoulder. Then press the inner hand down and come way up onto the mounds of the foot. You'll see with me, I come even not just to the mounds of the foot. Look how high, if you're not certain, I go way, way, way up onto the tippy toes to gain as much height as I can of my outer hips. Then one leg lifts, you keep it straight, and you kick and you kick so that the thigh moves towards the wall. Then push the heel bones up, push the buttock into the heels. Then spread the mounds of the foot and feel how that begins to firm the outer gluteals to move the mid buttock and tailbone in. Then elongate like you want your tiptoes to come to the ceiling. Elongate, elongate, elongate. There's no end to that elongation. Then go on and begin to come down. Once you're down, hold your elbows. Soft Uttanasana. So I'm just kind of going into it today. This is not a class that I'm going to be teaching how necessarily to do the stages of handstand. So that's a different class. But now we have one more side. So if you kick up with one side normally, It's good to try and kick up with the other or kick up with the other, right? So you walk in, bear weight on the hands, turn the arms out, then press the inner hand. Way up onto the tippy tiptoes. Other leg lifts, keep it straight. Take a breath, and with an exhale, kick, push that top thigh to the wall, right? Then push the heels up, push the buttock to the heels. Spread the mounds of the foot and feel that the mid buttock firms in and elongate further and more, so that when the heels broaden against the ground, feel how that moves your tailbone in. Bring the weight towards the mounds of your fingers. That's it. And then when you're ready, go on and release down. Hold the elbows. Breathe. So if you're in Supta Virasana, go on and come on. Take child's pose. If you're in soft Uttanasana, go ahead and release that and inhale, come up to standing. If you're in Virasana, then take downward dog. And you'll walk your feet to your hands and come on up, and we'll all come to standing. So hopefully we'll all meet back standing. Okay. Then set up your mat in such a way, sorry, I see my camera's a little turned, so that you can stand at the top of your mat in Tadasana. So what I mean by that, I'm not going to turn my mat to face you because you won't be able to see much anyway, I don't think. Oh, maybe you can. Yeah, maybe I'll do this. Stand at the top of the mat, meaning stand at the narrow edge of your mat. This is one of those times that this is sort of a good setup. I'm going to stand up here at the top edge of my mat and face you for now. And be in Tadasana. Turn the palms to face the body. So the upper arm bones turn out, so that the outer upper arms firm in, but the inner upper arms hit out. So feel how that gives you a stability in your shoulders. Heels down, tailbone in. Breathe. As you breathe, work to build the stability in the lower body. Spreading of the mound of the foot, so the buttock is down and the thighs are back, hence the tailbone comes in. From that stability, build that lift from behind the abdomen up the frontal spine to the chest. Breathe into the side ribs, right? So you feel that lift of the front chest from beneath. Shoulders descending as the crown ascends. Let the eyes be soft. So the consciousness is inward. Then bring the palms together into Namaskarasana. Now use Namaskarasana. It's not just a placeholder. Spread the palm against the palm. So there's almost like a magnetic rebound of the hands together, allowing the upper arms to continue to turn out, fostering that broadness across the collarbones. Then, when you reach your arms overhead, because mine are going to go out of screen, turn your palms to face forward for Urdhva Hastasana. Elongate through the outer armpits yet again, arms directly overhead, tailbone in. Now, with the thighs remaining back, heels down. With your exhale, arms forward, Uttanasana. Roll the side ribs downward. Keep the knees lifted, but the heels planted. Inhale, arms forward and up, Urdhva Hastasana. Palms together, Namaskarasana. Tadasana. Namaskarasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Lengthen now. Lengthen so the tailbone deepens. Exhale, Uttanasana. Reach the palm of the hand to the ground. Spread the hand to the ground and press slightly forward to descend the side body more. Now legs strong and steady. With your inhale, arms forward and up. Palms together at the chest, Namaskar Asana. Tadasana. Namaskar Asana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Arms up. Namaskar Asana. Tadasana. Namaskar. Urdhva Hastasana. Lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana. Feel the spreading in your foot, but feel also the press of the heels. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskar Asana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskar Asana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskar Asana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Namaskar Asana. Last one, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskar Asana. Tadasana. Okay. Now I want you to ask yourself, where in the body do you feel nearly fatigued? Think about that for a second. Good, Clifford. Yes, here in the legs. Right? I want you to feel how your legs are so compact. Even the outer gluteals are so compact. This is where that fatigue should come, not the lower back, right? That's good, because that means your tailbone is in. That means you're holding yourself there from that base. So that is to say, I'm trying to give you the tool to empower you so that you know, because I can't be around and see you and go, oh, you're dust, you're bending your knees. You know what I mean? So that's good. So compact the legs, outer thighs in, thighs back. Spread the mounds of the foot to get those thighs back, but then heels down, tailbone in. Now from Tadasana, turn the upper arms out, palms facing the body. Good. We're going to start the same way again. Namaskar Asana. Feel that compactedness of the legs, like you tied them together from the hips down, right? Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskar Asana. Now we're moving on. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Now put your palms on the floor where they can touch. Whole palm, even if it's in front of your foot. Bend your knees a little bit. And with your exhale, you're going to jump to downward dog. So I'm just getting into screen. So with your exhale, bear weight in your hands. Jump downward facing dog. And lift the knees and reach the heel bones down. So feel how now, if you spread the mounds of your foot and you reach the heel bones down, you can get that compacted sensation again in your legs and the tailbone still in. Now, from there, bend your knees, look forward, take a breath. Exhale, jump, feet towards your hands, Uttanasana. Mounds of the foot spread, heels down. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, Namaskar Asana. So I've just changed positions so you can see what I'm doing. But now we're going to do that a few times. So inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Take a breath, put your hands down, and with your exhale, jump, downward dog, pardon me. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Be there a few breaths. Upper arms turning out. Inner hands pressing down, elongate through the outer armpits, through the side body. Now take a breath, and with your exhale, bend the knees and jump, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana, Namaskar Asana. So that namaskar is your time to regroup, to restabilize. Then Urdhva Hastasana, Uttanasana, hands down, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a couple breaths. I'm giving you a little time right now. Then inhale in with your exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskarasana. Moving straight ahead, Urdhva Namaskarasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Jump, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskarasana. Tadasana. Okay. We're just going to continue on from there. But know that the legs are key, and it's all about how quickly are you going to come back to that state of balance. So if you fall behind my instruction, that's okay, don't worry. Palms together, Namaskarasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana. Press the palms. Then hands down, take a breath. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, feet stay hips distance apart, arms stay straight. But you keep your toes turned as if they were doing chaturanga. But I want you just to rock straight forward, tailbone in, upward dog. Heels back, toes down so the thighs lift. Lengthen across the frontal spine to the chest. Now exhale, downward dog, Uttanasana. Again, upward dog. So heels back, toes down, so the tailbone is in. Thighs down, toes down, lengthen the frontal spine. Exhale, downward dog. So when you spread the mounds of the foot, can the inner groins go back? Keep the back thigh broad. Once again, Urdhva Mukha, heels back, toes down so the tailbone is in. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, bend the knees and exhale, jump. Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskarasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Uttanasana. Take a breath. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now, it's that compactedness of the outer legs and the reach of the heels that keeps the lower body stable, so the tailbone's in. Now this time, as you come forward, I'm just giving myself some space, we're going to take Chaturanga Dandasana. So take a breath. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Go right over the toes now. You can step 1 foot at a time. Inhale, upward dog on your toenails now. But still, the top of the press is down so the tailbone is in. Then, right back over the toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath, and with your exhale, jump, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Namaskarasana. Tadasana. Namaskarasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Lengthen, lengthen. Exhale, Uttanasana. Reach the hands down. Then bend the knees and Adho Mukha. Downward dog. Take a breath. Chaturanga Dandasana. Go over the toes. Urdhva Mukha Svanasana. Go over the toes. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then bend the knees and with an exhale, jump. Uttanasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskarasana. Tadasana. One more time, just like that. Okay. Inhale, Namaskarasana. Sorry. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Reach, reach, reach. Put your hands down, bend your knees, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath with an exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, Urdhva Mukha. Press the top of the feet. And exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take a breath. With your exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Namaskarasana. Tadasana. Okay, good. Now we're going to move forward a little bit on that, but I want to give you just a little bit of information before we do that. And I wanted to watch and kind of see what was going on, because that's how we know what to teach, right? So, from Urdhva Hastasana to Uttanasana, there's an important thing that happens here. And it's about, you want to put your hands beside your feet if that is at all possible, even if it's just your fingertips. Because I want you to see the difference. When I exhale and push the heel of my hand down, watch. Hopefully what you see is this rounds. And when I press into the hands, my shoulder blades, this broadens. And that gives me a good preparation to balance on my hands. I'm not asking you to kick up into a handstand here, although in some vinyasa things they do that. I don't agree with that methodology. However, you see how this causes my back to broaden. And it sets me up well for those jumpings. It sets me up well for chaturanga, even for upward dog. And then as we do this more, the next stage here is chaturanga. And then you can even do upward dog again, and then downward dog. So it makes the arms stable. Now, I'm saying that because I see a lot of people going to here. And you see how that doesn't cause the same thing. In fact, it causes my hips to pop back. And it's pranic. It's not a shape. So when we do the next time, it's harder the way I'm asking you to do it. But what I want you to observe is how there's a rising up inside. Yes, this is the proper shape, but I'm in my joints. I'm not in the inner core of my body like I am here. I don't know if that's visible, but it's definitely feelable. Okay. So what's that? Oh, I thought I heard somebody say something. Okay. So that's the story. If when you're doing Uttanasana, because I have said, right, when you're here, if you cannot get your hands down, I have said, take your hands forward if you need to go to downward dog. That's necessary, right? But you don't want to steal from your Uttanasana. Okay, that's all. Let's try that. So from Tadasana, Namaskarasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. Get all that height. So it's an up and over action, Uttanasana. Then place the hands, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Now take a breath and exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Go over the toes, upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Now stay in that downward dog. We're going to try the second round, okay? So take a breath, Chaturanga Dandasana. Go over the toes, upward dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Again, upward dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then bend the knees. Exhale, Uttanasana. Inhale, Urdhva Hastasana. And exhale, Namaskarasana. Tadasana. Good. One last round, and then we're coming to the ground. So we'll just come in from there. Namaskarasana. Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, Uttanasana. Bend the knees, Adho Mukha. Svanasana. Chaturanga Dandasana. Over the toes. Upward facing dog. Chaturanga Dandasana. Tailbone in. Upward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Then we're going to go Chaturanga to the ground. So take a breath. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. And set yourself down. Reach back through the toes. Bring the hands under the forehead and rest for a moment. Feel how, as you rest, you can walk your front thighs back. Reach back through your big toes. Have them together. Reach, reach, reach. Longer and longer through those big toes, and feel how that can take the tailbone in, buttock to the heels. So imagine I'm pulling your two big toes back at the same rate. Spread across the top of the foot against the ground, and feel how the tailbone goes in. Now maintaining that, bring yourself up onto your forearms, elbows under your shoulders, palms flat. And as you look straight forward, reach the inner legs to the big toes back. Press the hand, especially that inner hand down, and observe how then the outer shoulder blades firm in. Now pull with your hands like you're trying to pull them towards you as you take the tailbone down, and feel how you can lengthen from behind the pubic plate, behind the abdomen, from the pubic plate towards your chest. Now keep that lift of the frontal spine, press the hands and begin to roll the frontal body up. Tailbone deepening, chest broadening. Now when you come down, pull the hands so you lengthen the frontal body, come down. And you can rest your head again. So keep the tailbone in, and it'll keep you out of the lumbar spine and any kind of grip there. So we're just moving into Bhujangasana. So now we're doing it again. Come up onto your forearms. This time bring your elbows a little bit more under you and the hands a little closer to you. So each time, kind of shorten it up if the first time is workable, right? So big toes back like a nice long tail, tailbone in. Pull the hands towards you and begin to coil the spine upward. As you do, turn the upper arm bones out. Press the inner hand. Lengthen the frontal body. So what you want to be careful of here is the bindi people can sometimes snap their arms to straight. Don't do that. Keep them a little bent and pull with your hands to connect to the mid-thoracic spine. Then lengthen the frontal spine forward and down and rest your head again. Okay. Again, same story. Bring yourself up. Maybe shorten that distance of your hands a little if that's appropriate for you. Look forward and reach the big toes back, literally like they're being pulled back. Tailbone in. Pull with the hands and begin to coil the body up. The pubic plate should stay on the ground, but move the middle thick back ribs in to coil upward and broaden the collarbones. Shoulders turning out. Then lengthen the frontal spine forward and down and rest. Last one. So you bring your hands as close as you feel as though you can. Look forward, tailbone in. Pull with the hands. Shoulders turning out. Keep the pubic plate down, but coil upward. Reach the legs more and more as you go. Lengthen the frontal body, come down. Rest your head. Stay rested, just listen. We're going to go straight from here into upward facing dog. You can see and feel maybe why. So now listen, as you reach back through your feet, you can separate your feet a little bit. Don't require them to be close together, but kind of start there, right? Then you bring your hands by your side ribs. So it kind of feels as though the wrists are under your elbows. Reach back through the legs, press the top of the foot down so you feel your kneecaps lift off the floor. Turn the upper arms out, and now with your inhale, press into the hands and come up, upward facing dog. The feet and hips should slide forward. Coil the upper back in just like you did for Bhujangasana. Then exhale, lengthen forward and down and rest. So just like we took Bhujangasana a few times, we're going to take upward dog a couple times. Now work the legs. The legs, right? We're going and doing this right after that standing work, right? So your legs have to be equally workable. Workable, I don't know what the word is I'm looking for. But reach them back now. Bring your hands by your side body. Feel the top of the foot spread. And then inhale, roll the frontal spine up. Press the top of the feet so your knees are lifted. The thighs should have a sense of going up as your tailbone has a sense of going down. Turn the upper arm bones out, harmony. So the collarbones broaden. That's it. Do more than from your elbows. Do from your upper arms. Good. Now from there, go over the toes and take downward facing dog. Wendy, your hand should be beside you, not in front of you. That's going to throw you into your lower back. Everybody downward dog. I know your hands are weird because you have those wrist things going on. So that might be what's going on. Yeah, make a fist. Try it when you make a fist next time, and that should be easier. So use downward dog to recover. Spread the mounds of the foot, reach through the heels, all those things. Relax the neck and the jaw and the tongue. Now, we're going to come to the floor in the same way. You're going to go right through chaturanga and bring yourself down. So with an exhale, chaturanga, look forward and bring yourself to the ground. Then, already you should be in that habit of buttock to the heels. So from there, bend both knees, hold your outer ankles. Forehead can be down. Lengthen your thighs back and roll the buttock to the hamstrings and pull the hamstrings to the buttock. Dhanurasana. So now press the feet back and lift the chest. Then take a breath. And with your exhale, lift your thighs and take the mounds of the big toes to the ceiling. Thighs come off of the ground. Coil those thick back ribs in and up towards the front chest. And exhale, lengthen the spine forward and come down. You can put your hands under your forehead. Now here's what we're going to do. Just listen and then we'll do. You're going to go back to downward dog. Then you're going to go again through chaturanga to the floor. And then it's going to be straight away Dhanurasana. Okay? So we're going to kind of connect those two. So turn your toes under. Bring your hands under your shoulders. And with an exhale, downward dog. So elongate the side body, keep the tailbone in, let the neck be soft. Breathe into the side body. Now, right after chaturanga, you're going to come to the ground and dhanurasana. So take a breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Come on down, hold the ankles, inhale, dhanurasana, come all the way up. Work the legs more and more, lift the thighs. Exhale, come on down, let your forehead rest. Hands under the shoulders, turn your toes under, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Last one like this. Take a breath. Exhale, Chaturanga Dandasana. Come to the ground. Dhanurasana, lift up. Like the big toes are being pulled to the ceiling. The balance is on the abdomen. And then release and come down. Rest. Hands under the shoulders, turn your toes, Adho Mukha Svanasana. So get into your downward dog, get stable. Lengthen through the outer armpits, relax the neck, all those things. Now again, I'm just giving you a heads up. Here's where we're going. You're going to go through chaturanga again this time. Instead of going right into dhanurasana, you're going to go right into shalabhasana. Arms and legs are both going to lift, okay? So take a breath, exhale, chaturanga dandasana to the ground. Then arms at your sides, palms up, reach through the arms, reach through the legs, and let all the limbs lift. Shalabhasana. Coil those thick back ribs in and up towards the bottom portion of the collarbone. And then exhale, release down. Put your hands under your shoulders, sit back on your heels. Bring the knees together, be in Vajrasana. Okay, everybody good? Cool. Okay. So now from Vajrasana, you're going to press the shin bones down and come up to standing. Bring your feet and knees a good hips distance apart. You see what's next? Ustrasana is next. Okay. So just like with all that Surya Namaskara work, just like those back bends on the abdomen, outer legs are firm. Big toes reach back. The buttock flows towards the hamstrings and the hamstrings pull up towards the buttock. So your tailbone's in. So from there, bring your hands to your waist and roll the shoulders back. Now feel the spreading of your toes against the ground. Press the top of the foot down. Press the top of your ankles down and turn the upper arms out. So the thick back ribs, they coil in. Take the hands to the back of your thighs so your fingers kind of turn inward, right? It helps your upper arm turn outward. Press the shin bones down and crawl the hands towards that space behind your knees. Imagine you want to touch where your calf meets your knees. Try that. Reach back, tailbone in, then hands to your heels. Grab on. Press the shin bones so the tailbone moves in. Turn the upper arms out, and you can begin to extend the crown of the head back some. Then press the shins. Inhale, come up, hands together, namaskar. And sit back on your heels, Vajrasana. A little back bending is good right now. Kind of clears the head. So stick with me. This is the last back bend, real back bend, and then we're going to transition a little bit. But we're going to do Ustrasana a couple more times. Now I will say, if it's difficult, if you feel like it goes into your low back, there's two things to do. And that is number one, I'm going to turn my back. Number one, you take your legs wide as your mat. Look how wide my legs get. Number two, as if this were a bolster, it's not wide enough, but you could put a bolster across your heels so your hands go to a lift. So those are two things you can do. I don't think you need both. I don't see anyone on the screen that would need both of those, but maybe one would be useful. The other thing you can do, if Ustrasana feels really great and you're like, no, I want to deepen it, then you start to get your legs closer and closer together so that when you come into the pose, right, you grab your heels and you can even bring your whole palm down and start to deepen in that way. So there's two ends of the spectrum of how you might modify or vary the pose. So ready? Press the shins, come up. Normally the knees and feet are hips distance. That's a nice middle ground and a good place to work. Hands to the waist, top of the foot spreads. Roll the shoulder back. Imagine I'm pressing your ankles down. Lift the chest, bring the hands behind the thighs and turn the arms out. Breathe. Crawl the fingertips down and go for your heels. If you get more comfortable there, you take the whole palm onto the whole sole of the foot. And now take the tailbone straight through you and towards me. Good. Breathe, lift the chest. Then press the shins. Inhale, lift the chest, hands come together. Sit back on your heels. The neck should remain relaxed, right? So if it's a pain in the neck, get yourself some height under your over your heels. Okay. Last one. Come on up. Feel how you can even use your thumbs there on those thick back ribs to help them learn to coil in towards the spine and in towards the back of the chest, right? Coil inward. Keep the shin bones down, tailbone should go straight through you. Go on, come on in. Once you're in, again, spread the top of the foot, press the top of the foot and the ankles down to open the frontal body. Then inhale, come on up, sit back on the heels. Rest there for a moment. Take the knees hips distance or a little wider, in fact, big toes together, child's pose. Roll the side body forward. Then bring the hands under the shoulders, come up with the head last. Get a bolster, bring it back to your spot. Turn the bolster so the narrow edge points forward and have a seat up on that narrow edge. Sweep the legs to your left. Left buttock on, right buttock, left buttock off, right buttock on. For Bharadvajasana 1. Sweep the right hand back beyond the bolster, left hand to the right leg, bend the elbows. Lift the chest and turn to the right. So now feel how those thick back left ribs coil in all the way up and underneath the collarbones. And release and change sides. Right? Have just the buttock bone on, the left one. Left hand comes back, right hand to the left knee. Lift the chest and turn. Elbows wide. Thick back right ribs, coiling to turn you. And exhale to release. Go back to the first side. You're either going to repeat Bharavajasana 1 in that way, or if possible, you take your right hand behind you and hold your left bicep. Left hand palm up, relax your right shoulder. Buttock bones down. Then slide the back of that left hand down your inner left leg. Then move your left hand to the outer right knee and deepen the work. You have to lean a little bit forward. You want to kind of feel like your left fingertips are going to go to the floor. Eventually, that actually goes under the knee and you turn. And release with the exhale. Second side. Bring the left hand around and hold the right bicep. Then relax the shoulders for a moment. Back of the right hand, slide it down that inner right leg and turn. So there's a rhythm here. Find it, catch those back ribs, and then go to the outer left leg and turn some more. There's a lean. Take it. And release with the exhale. Good. Swing the legs forward, Dandasana. Now, let me think. You're going to bring your left leg into Virasana. You're going to bring your right leg into Baddha Konasana. That's right. Then left hip down, look forward. Both outer hips descend. So we're looking at Bharavajasana 2. Let's do one time this way. So this is a preparation for Bharavajasana 2. So you're going to take your right hand towards the back edge of the bolster, left hand on your left leg to begin. But now there's a total arc in the spine to lift your chest. Bring that left hand over to your right knee. Turn some more. Coil both sides of the thick back ribs. Look up and over the right shoulder. And then release to center. Swing the legs forward for Bharavajasana 2. Preparation, second side. So, give the legs that opportunity to find that release here. Then left hand behind, right hand on the right knee, lift the chest and turn to the left. Right hand can go to the left knee, turn a little more, lift the chest, turn. Look up and over that left shoulder. Exhale back to center. Swing the legs forward. So either you repeat just like that or you follow me in a little bit deeper. Left leg in Virasana, right leg in Baddha Konasana. Relax the right thigh. You need to feel that you're turning the leg out from your hip. Then you hold underneath the outer foot and you lean forward. Why do I lean forward? Because I want to keep this knee close to the ground. And you can bring that leg up into a half Padmasana. Don't force the knee down. If it hovers, put something under it. If it hurts, please don't do it. Okay. Now you can do one of two ways. You can bring the hand to the back of the bolster and do the hands like you did before, or you take that right hand way behind you and you grab a hold of your left big toe. No, your right big toe. Okay. And then back of the left hand to the left knee, turn. Back of the left hand to the outer right knee, lift and turn. And exhale, release to center. Good. Lean forward, slip that leg off, straighten both legs. Last side. Right leg in Virasana. Put your left leg in Baddha Konasana. Do not treat your legs like they're symmetrical because they are not. So prepare this side. Relax from the hip. Can you guys hear all that? A little bit? Okay. They're doing something. I don't know what. Lean forward and feel that you want to keep that knee low. And then you bring the leg up. This is my tricky side, so I'm not committed just yet. Oh. So for me, sometimes you have to get out of the pose and get the prop. All right. Then take the, let's see, the left hand up and around and hold your left big toe. There we go. Right hand to the thigh, turn. You can bring the back of the hand onto that leg. Slide down the outer right leg and turn and lift the chest. And then release back to center with your exhale. Release that leg. Stretch both legs forward. Dandasana. Okay. Salamba Sarvangasana with a chair. So chair shoulder stand. If you're not going upside down, do Supta Baddha Konasana. Okay. So if you can, get that chair next to a wall, because then you can use the wall for your feet. I think I finally worked out, knock on wood. I think I finally kind of worked out some of the glitches with my filming. There's always glitches, oh my gosh, and hurdles. But fairly soon I should be able to have some videos up that are tutorials of poses that we practice a lot of times, like Supta Baddha Konasana, all those things. So it's good to feel like I'm getting a little traction in that world. I'll keep you updated.
Okay, so you don't need to put them on it, okay? No. Okay, perfect. Okay, got it. All right, thank you.
Okay, guys, so if anyone needs to see, there's a couple blankets for my shoulders, a couple blankets on the chair. I'm close to a wall. Let's say Grace is already there. When you're ready, come on in. If you're not real sure, you can just watch me and then you'll do, okay? So when you get the correct height for your hips, you should feel that it gives your chest a sense of lift, and it gives those thick back ribs a sense of coiling inward again, like we were working earlier in class. Relax the abdomen once you get there. Bring the breath into the side body. Press the heel bones up the wall, but then spread the mounds of the foot. And again, you'll find a little bit of that compactedness in the outer legs. Keep the inner groin soft. As you settle in, allow the jaw to release back towards the floor, the tongue and the throat to soften.
Okay, yeah, it's there, so. Got it, thank you. I'm just getting stuff done so I can walk out the door.
It's never that busy here. I don't know what's going on. Although we did have a pipe burst on the farm today. So interesting, living back on the farm, so different than the city. You know, the pipe burst, you don't call the city, you call the plumber. So all of our water was off because, you know, we have a well here for the farm. And I found it. Maybe that's going on. Maybe they have sod going out. Feel how the outer body remains stable like a vessel, but how over time, and I mean over time today while you're in the pose, but also over time, meaning months and years of practice. Over time, you can begin to find that fluidity and softness in the inner body. And each time you have to kind of remember to tap into that well within, that inner depth that says, oh yeah, there's a release I can find here. It's not that it is second nature. It's not. You have to train the mind to go, oh, now what can go next? Where's the freedom inside? And then where's the next layer? Where's the next layer? Where do I go from there? Because there's always more. As soon as you think you've reached the apex, that's like an ego roadblock. Right? It's normal, but it's just has to be guarded against. Now bend the knees and put your feet on the backrest of the chair. And take the legs into Baddha Konasana. Again, find that turn at the upper hip. Again, bring the breath into the side body. Keep the neck relaxed. And then gently begin to make your way back down. Work to bring the hips on top of the blankets, if at all possible, shoulders to the ground. Let your legs rest on the seat of the chair. You might need to move the chair a little away from the wall. Just do that. And use your hands, press the blankets towards the chair until you can bring your hips all the way down to the ground. Rest there. Bend your knees and roll off onto the right hand side. Come up. So now, let's have you bring the chair a little bit away from the wall. And you're going to set up your blankets as if you were going to do regular shoulder stand. You're not going to do regular shoulder stand, but you are going to do halasana with your legs on the chair. So what I would recommend, I've got that mat there on the chair. So this is all really stable. I'm just going to use this for my legs because you'll want a little height for your legs on the chair. It's not necessary, but if it's possible, depending on your space, if you want to get another mat out for your blankets, that would be nice, just because that way they won't slide around. So I'm going to do that in this case here and have 3 blankets, just like you would for shoulder stand. You need more or less, then that's your deal. And a bolster for your hips. So this should be quite close, but give yourself some room back there for your legs. And what you're going to do is, oops, why does that feel lopsided? Let's see. Okay, what you're going to do is have the chair somewhat close, hands at your sides, you turn the arms out, and exhale, and then you'll bring your knees here, and then you can just thread the feet through that backrest. Turn the upper arms out and sort of pull the chair in. And you see how my legs sort of angle downward. That's correct. So you want them to angle downward. The more height you can get to support here at your front groin, depends on the person, but that tends to be helpful. And then we're here. Okay, so as you're ready, come on in. In my case, I could roll this top blanket and put it here at the edge. That's going to feel better on my body because of the length of my torso. So I don't know if that's visible for any of you, but that helps a little in my case. And then you work to release through the neck, the jaw, the tongue, the abdomen, the side body, the low back. Observe the breath in the sides and in the back. Let the legs be passive, heavy, restful. Then when you're ready to come out, kind of walk your legs off that chair. Use your hands. You can put them at the front legs of the chair. And gently roll yourself out and down. And just like you might when you're done with shoulder stands, slide back. Let the shoulders rest on the floor for a little bit there. Breathe. And then roll yourself onto the side. Come on up. Open up your mat. Make some room. And let's go on into Shavasana. Make sure when you take Shavasana that if you need it, you have a pillow for your head. If you find that when you do Shavasana, some people find Shavasana is the hardest pose in the book. And a lot of times that is simply, well, it's fixable to some degree by how you position yourself, meaning when the brain races in Shavasana, sometimes it is because of, take a look at what I'm going to do here with my head, because of the head doing something like this. It's not extreme, which is why it's easy to miss. But do you see how my chin's lifted a little? As opposed to that. This is much different. So if you find that your brain races in Shavasana, don't worry about the positioning without props. Take a prop. Support your head. Or even if it's been a difficult week. And, some of you have indicated that maybe it has been. So try this today. So that when you place your head, you get this little bit of support. And then you use your hands to kind of turn the skull with your neck super passive. Take the heel of your hand to the hairline like so. So I'm kind of doing this at the front so you can see, and then you'll do. And you slide the hand down so the palm of the hand covers your eyes. So that means there's no pressure on your eyes, but you get this nice deep darkness. So it's an invitation inward. So see about setting up your Shavasana in this way. Feel how you can encourage the consciousness to roll more deeply inward. To allow the brain to just be here in the body, on the mat, just for a little while. To be with the breath. When it feels appropriate to release your arms, you just release the arms. Surrender into that expanse within. Notice the length of the exhalation. Spend time at that moment at the bottom of the exhale. And then gently bend the knees. Reach the right arm overhead and roll yourself onto the right hand side. And use your hands to press the floor away. And come on back up. And that's all for this afternoon. Namaskar.